to the mesophotic habitats that Brian Green works in a lot with his rebreather diving.
All right, let's
Thanks,
go
Bruce.
wide. Top left of the screen. Oh, top left. Oh, I see it. Tilt up, Sean.
Yeah, the slope that that fish is sitting on is composed of, this is the geology lecture, volcaniclastic debris, and that means broken up lava fragments that were erupted from a volcanic vent on the sea floor. So really fine stuff, the finest material we call ash. And then as it gets bigger, we have different names for the sizes of materials, scoria, bombs. Scoria is a little bit bigger than ash.
You're spinning on your left toe.
Yep.
Then bombs would be very large blocks of material thrown out by the volcanic vent.
Okay, so tilt, Sean.
Tilt down.
Down. Let's get the fish again. We can get him a side view here.
You can tell by looking at the lower part of the screen and that cloud. It's a very fine sediment that's getting kicked up. Okay, that's nice. Okay, now we can see it's a duck bill.
There's your duck bill.
Wow. Look at the color pattern. That is so cool.
It's amazing.
Beautiful.
Beautiful fish.
Oh, wow, that's pretty.
And look at the delicate fins. They're just paper thin.
And then we'll have lasers on as we zoom out so that we get a size of this guy.
All right, lasers are on.
Okay, video when you're done.
Yep, give us a few more seconds of this. Him moving around.
Yeah, video, you want to try and get the entire one in the frame, the entire fish in the frame?
Yep, just getting a tight shot first. Pulling full fish, holding.
He's turned away from us again.
Hold this for a few seconds, and then we'll do the lasers. Okay, going full lasers.
Tilt up.
It's about 10 centimeters.
Yeah.
Okay, video's full wide.
That's a standard fish. Okay. Alrighty, done with fish. Nav, what's our next move? I think we're done with that fish.
Okay, we have waypoint 5, which is almost due east, about 90 meters. The concern is we've got about 40 meters of what should be relatively flat, and then we should be on a hill. The distances do not agree with the high pack, so we would recommend a move of about 40 meters maximum to the east before we then evaluate situation and then should start climbing.
Okay. Have you discussed with Watchlead that we're not on the... Well, I'll just assume you talked it over with Watchlead. That's what we want to do, just follow the waypoints, even though they don't match.
As yet, note the next move hasn't been discussed yet.
Okay.
We will work on that one.
Yeah, just do a quick check, make sure that's... Since they don't match up, since the bathymetry doesn't match up.
Okay, roger that.
Yeah. I guess with the depth difference, we almost have to...
Is it a white object, a rock, with a mark in the center?
Watch lead from Nav.
Okay, Rolly, go ahead.
Nav.
Watch lead Nav.
There's some
Go ahead, Nav.
Watch lead, we're now on waypoint 4.
First.
I gather the intention is now to move to waypoint 5.
That is correct.
It's correct. As we were just discussing with the pilots, we've got this about a 45 meter to the due east where it'll be relatively flat. if we move the ship
Sorry, Roy.
that amount of distance. Are you happy with
Maybe.
that before we then start climbing?
Absolutely, yes. That's fine.
Thank you, Watchley.
Okay.
Maximum zoom.
Wow. Yeah, it's pretty tough to
I
hold
think there
steady.
may be a lot of very
A little bit
small
left,
squat
and we'll look at
lobsters
the anemone.
tucked into some of these rocks.
Now at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, it certainly
Looks
looks
like
that
we've had
way.
a nice recruitment.
You can see
I'm
little,
just really surprised how abundant they are here.
yeah, you can see little red specks in between the pebbles.
And 2 anemones in the screen.
Yeah, this looks like perhaps a therianthid anemone, a
Yep.
tube anemone.
Yep, does.
Now, where's the anemone?
Over to, I see at the 3 o'clock position on the screen. Now, sorry, the other 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
Full wide.
You're as bad as I am, Shirley.
Pilots from Nav, are we now happy to
Shirley
make
and I
the
share a brain,
40
it seems.
meter move due east?
Okay, 40 meters to east.
Very symbiotic, the two of you. You guys work
We
very
definitely
well
are.
together.
It's scary,
Bridge,
really.
ROV Nav.
We're starting to finish each other's sentences.
We are indeed. God, it's like we were twins
Rich,
separated at
can we
birth.
have a ship move, please? That would be 40 meters on a heading of 095.2 knots.
I prefer to think of it as destined to be combined on the expedition.
Good copy, Bridge. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
There you go.
For sure. Yeah, because we've never sailed together before.
No.
We've known each other for a long time.
Yeah, we have.
Well, and it's because our disciplines are so different, and a lot of the expeditions we've been
True.
on have been really focused on the area of science that we study. So I would have not been on, say, a drill ship, for example, any of
So
the
you
trips.
have
Right.
a turn to follow me?
And you wouldn't have been on any of our
Yes.
drug discovery missions.
That's right.
But now we already put our heads together about a
Rotating
proposal.
starboard.
We have indeed. We want to come back here.
Another great,
That's one thing
reason
that
for
is
exploration.
something that folks at home might like to understand exactly why the ship operates the way it does. I write proposals, and Shirley does too,
The bright
to go
white
and
rock in the
do
distance. Yeah. Maybe
hypothesis-based exploration. So in order for us to be funded and to go out to sea, to try to run experiments, or even just to look at something on the seafloor that we think may be interesting, we have to couch our request in terms of, okay, we have a hypothesis, this is what it is, and we have a bit of information that tells us that there is some support for the hypothesis. We present to external reviewers who are our colleagues in the field that look at our ideas and say, yeah, that sounds like a good idea, or mostly, yeah.
Usually it's now you come back.
I think
Can you
this
refine
is
that a little bit?
refine it.
White
Okay,
object
not only
goes to
that,
the
but
right
they
of
tell us,
lasers,
well, you
right
know,
next to
gee,
lasers.
you want to make thin sections out of rocks. Isn't that what evenings and weekends are
You see
for?
one?
But really, it's
upper
more
left.
that
Oh,
they say,
little thing.
this sounds like
Yeah.
a, quote, fishing expedition, unquote.
Just
And
snap and see if it's a
basically
rock
what
or
we're
if it's
doing
an
out
anemone.
here
Yeah, go
is
ahead.
we're doing the groundwork for the entire community of individuals who are participating either online or just sitting at home looking at their computers and
Shell.
watching
Yeah,
what
looks
they
like a
see on the
shell fragment.
seafloor, and they're going to get ideas about maybe what they'd like to do
Up there is
with a return to areas
bottom of
that
the
are
screen.
explored by
How about
us out
that
here on the
freebie?
ship.
science here, something
Yeah, what
for
is
you
that?
to see.
Is that a polychaete?
Could pilot?
So you have
There's 2 of them.
Yeah,
There's
I'm
the
think-
left of the 2.
Yeah, I think it's a polychaete.
tube worm of some type.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
So the little
Except
gray
now we're
arms that are
saying
extending.
we're getting 2 other conflicting
sorry.
identifications
full
that it
wide,
might
please.
be an anemone. I gotta look at my codes. Really? I don't know.
Initially, I thought it was an anemone, but
Those
upon
tentacle-like structures look to me like they have little branches, so it's not an anemone.
Yeah, that's-
therianthid, so
Okay, let's go
probably a
again.
sandworm,
We'll try and hold it.
Yeah.
So earlier, quite a bit earlier, we did
I
see
think
a
we
large
floated
Pilots from
tube
Nav,
past
just to
it.
sticking out
confirm,
of
we are
sediment
now
that was
on a course
probably
due
about
east at
2.5
90, and we've
centimeters
done
across.
15 meters of a 40
Yeah, I
meter
saw that
move.
too.
So yes,
It was near
I
the white
suspect
thing.
it could well be a polychaete.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Okay. Pushing off to the east some more. Let's get that bright white rock up to the left.
So the exploration that we're doing now basically lays the groundwork for us to be able to pose even more, even more scientific questions that we want to address. And so we consider this at the the beginning of that spectrum of scientific inquiry.
Downwind of it.
And it's a disciplined science. We're not just out here on what Patty referred to earlier, what some of the reviewers might say, a fishing expedition. We have some information that led us to, and our community of scientists, to propose an expedition in this area.
That's right, Shirley. We'd never get funding from the usual federal agencies that support science to be able to come out and do something like what we are doing on this cruise.
Which is to lay the groundwork for additional scientific inquiry.
And research.
Yeah.
And experiments.
Co-pilot, this is Nav. Co-pilot, this is Nav.
Standing waiting for you to rotate.
Go ahead, Nav.
High pack.
Shrimp.
Notice the tracks stop tracking on high pack.
Oh, yeah.
What causes that?
Nothing. I had never seen that yet. Go into your vessels.
I did. So, sled.
Okay. Let's
Try
go
changing that to
full
100
wide.
seconds.
That's a
And light
really
all
altered
maps.
rock. I wonder if that
Document the shrimp yet.
was
Okay,
just
now,
sitting in the
pilot,
vent
can we
cooking for a
bring the
long
ship to
time
easy
before it
stop?
was
It's
thrown out
underway.
and landed here.
Bridge, RV Nav. Can we hold current position, please? Thank you, Bridge.
Are those little shrimp that we're seeing?
Yes, I think they are.
Pilot, would you like me to turn just a little bit?
Yeah, there were a couple of
If
small
you're
ones,
gonna-
and there was a much larger
If
one
I
on
fall
the
out of
right
your view,
side,
yeah.
kind
Copy
of
that.
Follow
behind
me,
the
but
rock.
then remember which direction we have to
There's
go.
a
Okay.
We look at the
blue
shrimp.
on the edge of the rock.
Yep, and you'll have to take my camera tilt too,
Maybe
please.
it's the same kind as
On
we
the
saw before.
Okay.
right-hand edge of
Yeah,
the
just
rock.
to the edge of the rubble. Yeah, I think it is. I think it's another one of these cryonemocryte series.
Here's 4 shrimp currently in view.
Nav, we are currently not
Interested
moving,
in the
yes?
center one.
Ship is in position, holding.
Copy that.
You might swing like a couple of meters, but
Okay.
I can bring it back if you guys want me to. You're maxed out. Still got them in view.
This shrimp is what we are going for, correct?
Yeah, I haven't heard any conversation about the rock, so
Okay.
just go for the shrimp.
Copy that.
Yeah, so this shrimp, I
get a
think,
little
if
fine-tuned
Mary isn't on, which is a little unfortunate, I think it's in the genus Plesionica, and that's in the family, I think, Pendalidae.
Yeah, it's just
And one of the features, which I think
There you
I'm
go.
seeing, is they have really long rostrum. At least some of the species do. And a lot of these are unknown because they don't get collected very often. So they're really gorgeous animals, as you can tell, and maybe related, this orange one and that red one, because they both have that striping going down the abdomen.
Now, to answer your question, I don't think we need to move back. I have them in view.
Do they usually occur in groups like this?
Copy that, co-pilot.
Yeah, they do. There can be hundreds of these things all around one single little boulder.
So not a male-female pairing.
It could be female and a male.
Yeah,
I'm not
just
really
in front
sure.
of
I
the
mean,
picture.
female may be the big one, as far as I know. And
I don't need to move the
but
camera for this.
no idea. I
Camera's
don't
good.
think they know much about them. But look at the size of that rostrum. You see, it's sticking right up. That's that striped post sticking right up.
Immediately in front of
And
that
for
rostrum
non-scientists on shore, rostrum is a beak. Sorry, video. Did you say something else?
Immediately in front of the rostrum is a tube with a...
Oh, yeah, we can see the, yeah, you can see the tentacles out of that. Okay, yeah, so, yes, look at the, so there's the tubes, the white tubes just to the right of the large shrimp. And if you look really closely, you can see they're almost transparent. You can see the tentacles, yeah.
Little tiny tentacles,
Little tiny,
feathery, waving.
really transparent. So these...
Is there any...
actually tube wars are called Sabellid polychaetes. Yep, sorry.
I think the one to the right, it was easier to see the tentacles.
Yep. Okay. Are you interested in that rock?
Yeah, I actually am curious if Bill would chime in and tell us about the texture of that rock. What do you think about that?
To the rock?
Yeah. Just the surface texture looks real odd.
The ship is stopped. We are actually been holding position, so I mean this is a good place to, if we need to switch right here.
Bombs, these big blocks
Something crawling on it? Immediately center of the screen?
Like, its namesake, you know, when you have a loaf of bread that expands in the oven.
Is that Max Zoom?
Yes, that's Max Zoom.
Wow. What is that thing?
And that's just
scary. That's what it is.
Volcanic bombs like this that get thrown out and they're partially molten.
They might not be talking to me though.
The gases inside the rock keep expanding, and so it breaks up.
Sorry, Rob, can we just zoom a little more on this thing?
Worm.
Yeah, thanks for
zoom.
Yeah, we're at maximum zoom now.
Want to push in a little closer?
No.
Okay.
Thanks, Bill. Thanks, Bill. The biologists
really
love
to
to interrupt us.
stable.
That's just fine, because this worm is really cute. Looks like a caterpillar.
Looks like a new species that we haven't seen before.
Can you hit
Does
joy
anybody
lock
know
for
what
me?
this guy is?
That didn't work. Okay, full wide.
Got a couple folks saying might be a polychaete.
Have we been seeing stuff, any current?
I think it's going to give Deb Glickson nightmares.
Uh-oh.
Andy, tilt down a little bit more, thanks.
Tilting down.
All right.
Do you want me to go all the way to the skids, or
just see if we can get back in on that worm. If it's
Copy
still
that.
there, I got a little closer.
Copy that. Zooming down.
Almost unintentionally, but
Actually,
the right
don't
edge of the laser, right
Yeah.
laser beam.
Okay, gotcha. See it.
there it is.
See it.
All right.
Are there more of those worms in this thing?
It's the only one I've seen in the videos perspective.
Scott France, can you tell us anything about this?
Slight tilt down.
Tilting down.
Can you hear me right now?
Yes.
Okay, I cannot tell you anything about this. I'm wondering if it's, I don't have a close enough view. I can't tell if it's a polychaete worm or if it's a holothurian.
Request that we zoom out and look down at the skids and get as close to the rock as we can.
Holothurian would mean it's a species
Okay.
of its kind, and
I'm with you, Scott. I agree.
In what part?
Well, the way it's walking is totally unpolitic, unpolitic too. So I think you're right that it's a holothurian.
Oh yeah, great. Yeah, because it just doesn't seem to have the right body features for
Okay,
holochaete.
let's go for it again.
The holothurian
have
is
to
a sea
rotate
cucumber.
left
They're
a little bit.
typically
Tilting down.
some kind of deposit feeder,
Left
meaning
of
they're
lasers.
feeding on chunks of sediment and getting the organics
Down
out
at
of
the
them.
bottom of the
Some
rock,
them
just
can be
left the
supposed to
laser.
be
See it.
grabbing particles out of the water.
There it is.
So is this something
Yeah,
that
maybe it's
you
some kind
folks...
of like stalactid holothurian. It just, the papillae or whatever they are on it just seem more holothurian-like than polychaete-like. Scott and Ring, I'm totally going to have to agree with you.
its maximum zoom.
Have either of you seen anything like this before? These are real tiny. Do you think that's just the adult size and this animal is real small?
Tilt up a tiny bit.
Tilting up.
Great.
Well, there are plenty of small holothurians, so the size isn't the issue, but I'm not a sufficient enough expert in the echinoderms, and certainly not at this depth, so perhaps one of the others can say something.
Tilting up again. There we go.
Well,
And we'll look at it. Yeah, now look at it, the way it's moving along.
Yeah.
Kind of inching along the bottom. Almost hopping.
Definitely walking rather than swimming.
Yeah.
I love the tight focus on the rocks. You can see all the phenocrysts. Sorry, I'm distracted. How about you, Deb? What do you think of those phenocrysts?
All right, full wide, please.
Phenocrysts are the little crystals that form in the magma as it begins to cool.
Yeah. So, anytime.
Look how fine the substrate is that just makes a huge cloud as we back off the wall here.
Look at Sirius's view, how the dust
This is likely, very likely, just
the view.
Extremely fine volcanic ash.
And also see that in the Sirius view, which was
Hey, pilot, I didn't hear if you
up,
had troubles with current today.
Right.
From the thrusters.
Sorry, yeah, there is about...
Ash this fine is
not a really strong
characterized
current, but it's in,
by volcanologists as
Sure. Okay.
0.066
Copy
millimeters. So tremendously fine stuff. And what we're doing is we're heading eastward from our waypoint 4, which was north of where we landed.
Okay,
and
gentlemen.
We will
get comfortable
very
here.
likely be going
Nav,
up
what's the general
the wall
approach? Are we going to head
of
to waypoint 5?
the crater that we are in. Up to the top, and then what we intend to do is
talked about that.
move toward the northwest around the crater rim and take a look.
Okay. So if you took all these contours, flatten them out, I think that's really, so I think uphill should be roughly northeast.
Concluded that the crater
and
that
I'll just get a range and see if that agrees.
So the waypoints were defined to sort of go around the top of the crater that doesn't exist, so the waypoints don't really make any sense.
Copy that.
Yeah, I think only the end waypoint has any...
I'm seeing something slide to my port there.
That's been there the whole time. I think that's actually the frame, because this sonar only extends when we're below 500 meters.
Copy that.
Oh,
yeah, I understand, Bill.
Yeah, because
would you
originally when
prefer
this was started, we weren't supposed to go shallower than 500.
Would you prefer to head directly for that slope?
Let's see. Which way is... So
we are
uphill should be
generally
roughly
doing
north
that. We're moving upslope and
to northeast.
to the right, up and to the right.
I'm seeing northeast.
Yeah.
What we'll continue doing.
But look up to your port.
Okay,
That's
thank
kinda,
you.
Yeah,
Will
why
do.
don't you face more like
Copy that.
030 or something.
So we're finding out that there's just one crater on this volcano and not two.
Good to know, though, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And then the current is definitely from the west.
I think the closer we get to that other crater, the more
I'll stop here facing north and see where I go.
Find any kind of venting, although I expect that hydrothermal venting
So Carl and Jim,
facing 030.
for you guys to note, when we deployed the lights, we deployed the lights, it was noted that it looks like the upper swing arms,
Yeah, right. I understand.
maximum
Still,
rotational direction,
I'm
are
wondering
pointing
if,
almost
as
directly
we
in front of
get
the ROV rather
further
than being able to
upslope,
be
if we see
pointed forward.
different
Both of them?
lithology,
They
different rock types.
Totally normal.
Are
to
you
me.
interested in picking
They're more
up something that is
pointed
different,
down
like
than forward.
different color, like maybe some of the larger white
Want me to
rocks
try
that
to
we're
rotate out?
seeing on the seafloor?
So if you were to rotate them, they actually go
I think,
back towards
white
the vehicle.
usually means altered,
Yeah.
so unless
That
there's
is-
somebody really interested.
So we can't actually get any more forward lighting from it.
I think they
Okay.
usually deploy them a little bit more stowed, so they're maybe 10 degrees
up
more
to the
forward.
cliffs where there's
I can
probably,
do
more solid lavas intact.
Hey,
that might be another place to think about sampling.
Okay, we'll take a look.
Not so much the open and close, but the rotational
There-
factor is what I'm referring
on
to.
the intact, the
No,
hard,
I understand,
hard
but I don't
there might
think
be
they've changed in
different sort
the
of
4 years.
biological habitat too, because
So let me
it'd be a
know the
hard
angle
substrate
pilot that
where
you-
things could
I'm going to think like right
That's
there.
about where we
all
normally have
this
them.
loose
Yeah.
stuff
Copy
is
that.
harder for
Yeah, because video, those are kind of mechanically.
Yeah,
it's
that's
all
right.
mechanical stops, so someone would have.
Okay, well, we
if I
will be
had to have
looking
snuck
for
in
them.
at night and
What about if they were
Everything here is
actually
covered with
rotated around the
pyroclastics,
bar, once it was
also
in
known
a
as
stowed
volcaniclastics.
well, I could see that happening
Broken
to
up
one
fragments
in a high current,
of
but it'd be
what's been spewed out of
difficult to imagine
the
it
summit of
happening
this
the same way to
volcano. It looks
both.
like
We can. What we can do is.
yeah. So you have
no,
to imagine,
Definitely not.
we're glad we're
Yeah,
not here while
we can
while
adjust
it's
them on
happening, because all
deck
this stuff
for
we see
what
on
you
the
would
seafloor
prefer.
would
Yeah,
be
so I would
raining
like
down
a
on
little
top
bit
of our
more
heads.
pointing forward.
yeah, that's
when
true.
out.
When
I
deployed.
certainly
Yeah,
wouldn't
so
want
it'll
to
be
be
pointing a little
sailing
bit more
over
back when,
an erupting undersea
yeah.
volcano. You might like to tell us something about what happened
Just to be able to
in
get more forward
1957.
lighting rather
Yeah.
than
Yeah, we
straight down.
Hang on there, Bill.
should,
We got something else coming up.
Hi, yeah,
that
this is
maybe
Shirley. I
tonight
stepped
or
out of
tomorrow
the
night
control
or
room
something.
for a couple minutes, but what we're going to do is put the multi-beam map back up on the screen, and I would like to have a discussion
They're
with
all
the
there for you,
science
video.
team about how to proceed from here, because the waypoints don't really jive with what we've got down here.
Okay.
So we want to
Okay, I got it.
adjust our
50
dive track,
50
and I'd
degrees
like to
slope
do
and 5
that
degrees.
with a whole team of scientists. So in just a minute, what screen you think they'll see that? Feed 3?
Hi guys,
do you
this is
wanna zoom
Casey.
out a little on HiPAC?
It will be up on
Curious
video
where
feed 3.
the general slope
Okay.
goes.
And if someone can let us know when you see it, please.
I think the current's maybe a little bit from the northwest.
Okay, it's on my screen here, so.
Pilot, do you remember how to reset
You see it?
tempos when they do this?
It's in the
You click
squad,
somewhere?
the
Maybe
quad
in the
screen. Squad screen.
No, it should be a full.
We got a full screen on
full
screen
screen on,
3.
on video 3.
Right.
So
Play with it.
is anyone
Pause and
participating on
unpause maybe?
I-1 and
Or leave
cannot
the screen
see
and
it?
come back.
So waypoint.
Sorry, could you repeat? Not see what?
So right now on video feed 3, you should be seeing the multi-beams
Go, Carl, you got-
Fleeter Mouse view.
Waypoint 8 is the.
And I just want to make sure that everyone, because there's a
No, I
little
think
bit
it's
of.
really far away.
Number 3.
Like to
Okay,
the northeast.
perfect. I just want to make sure everyone had a chance to see it prior to,
Yeah, I think
with
there's
the
a
delay.
9
Sometimes
way
it
up
takes a little
to
bit
the
of time.
northeast.
All right, so the track that I have pulled up right now is our current waypoint. And we've basically had intended to spend quite a bit of time here around the crater. So now that we didn't have a crater, we have a little bit more time in our hands. So our options are staying shallower than 250 meters. We can try
dive
and
in.
proceed
Okay, here.
over to this lava flow here.
So there's a waypoint called Dive End.
Because we are
It's up
actually in this
northeast of
region.
us.
Or, no, we're just getting out of the crater, so we'll be here.
It's
So,
it's 400, almost 500 meters away.
I see, and it's a long contour, huh? What's the distance between those contours?
These contours?
Yeah.
Like that way?
30.
20, 30.
That'll be a really awkward journey on a 30, 20
Right,
degrees
it'd
slope
be
sideways.
nicer to go just up this way, say, right?
Yeah.
Go up this ridge.
Yeah, if we spend the whole day going sideways.
Oh, it's a 250 meters
Oh,
zone
yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Drawing
So
now,
we gotta.
I'd still like to go of just below that.
I mean, it's. I think we can do it. It's not a problem. It's just going to be a whole day of kind of awkward, sideways, awkwardly.
We could drop down to deeper water.
Yeah. And then go up.
Right. I was
Sure.
so
Like
based on
jump
where you
here
know
and
that
then come up
the
this-
eruption was and the change in
That
bathymetry
ridge, that
in
ridge seems to be
2014.
real, just to our.
Is it better to go
at the
over
250,
here?
kind of where the.
I'm circling it right now, so you
that
may
seems
have a
to be real.
second
Maybe
delay.
we should go there and go.
This isn't a ridge. This is
over
a,
here to these
a
sort
hollow,
of what looks to me like a little bit of that
gully.
landslide.
Oh, is it?
I think so. Yeah.
Or we can come.
No, you're right. You're right.
If you,
you're right.
if you want to go over to this feature, we could still survey along here.
So maybe we could go there. There might be some interesting rocks, and then head up it to 250.
Yeah.
That'd
So
be,
work around sideways at the current depth.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the bad part, I guess.
But
no, we could still go up. We could still go northeast to like where
till we
the 8 is
intersect it and then go up.
yeah.
But this point is only
Hey,
300 meters
Bill,
away.
can you speak
How
up
do
a little, please? I'm having a really hard time hearing you. I'm sorry.
200 meters, 260.
At some point, I'd like to get as close as we can to that shallow crater, and then how we get there and what we do afterward is fine to explore the other.
Yeah, so it wouldn't take care of the whole day, but it would.
Okay.
Something.
So,
Does that make sense?
yes, and so we will keep that point up by the crater, which is just under 250 meters.
So should we?
And then, how do people feel about the way I have the transect on now?
Just like waypoint 8 and the ship on there, if that's going to be the.
So it would go up
like
to the
zoom into
crater
the
and then sort of
300 meter
lateral along for a little
waypoint
bit,
and the ship.
and
Say
then
if we're
head
headed for that
over
ridge.
towards this other.
Ship on there, if that's going to be the.
So it would go up
like
to the
zoom into
crater
the
and then sort of
300 meter
lateral along for a little
waypoint
bit,
and the ship.
and
Say
then
if we're
head
headed for that
over
ridge.
towards this other outcrop.
That looks good
So
to me.
I mean, they're discussing it right now, but without.
Oh, are they looking at it? No, they're looking at.
They're looking at Fledermaus.
Yeah. Should we? I
Get some
can't
input?
hear. Yeah.
Any other thoughts?
That's funny. We were both having separate planning.
Right.
No, I'm happy to go with what Bill says.
Oh, now we have to find out.
Right.
Okay.
Also sounds good to me.
Okay. All right. Thank you, guys.
Agreed.
All right. I will work with Nav to make sure we get this information. Thank you, guys.
Video.
Go ahead, Nev.
I've kind of been hovering
survey
here,
one.
but we can zoom on anything you see.
Let's look at that round
Yeah,
object.
please.
We have not seen that round object in the lower left, white.
Okay.
There's been a small fish flittering around. We've imaged that a couple times. There's a possible anemone to the right of lasers, same level as the white thing.
Okay, lateraling is sort of awkward. We were talking about maybe trying to go up. You see, we're right on the. If it's real, we're very close to this ridge that runs up to the north.
Yeah, I'll
that
try
would be
hovering
that would be
here
a
for
fun
you.
thing
They want to zoom in.
work our way up. Although we'll be at 250 before. Well, I'm looking at high pack.
So we've also looked at those little crystals on those rocks.
Yeah, actually, let me zoom in just a little.
It's max zoom.
This is right, we're here. There's a ridge here, which seems like a nice thing to follow. But we'll be at 250 meters. That's only like 300 meters from us right now. This one? Okay.
I just touched down.
Okay. Okay.
All right, can you come wide video?
That's a long way.
Go over to that.
That's a long way. I mean, that's 750 meters from us by straight line.
Say again, video.
There, we can go over to that anemone thing, which is probably just went under your.
Well,
skin.
I mean, we could bop over there quickly and then work up that ridge. Okay.
The same level as the white rock.
Okay. But there's no specific concern about how we get there. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah. So if we had two alternatives, one of which is to come up this ridge and then lateral over to it, or to lateral over and then go up this little valley.
Circle diagonally right of the lasers.
Probably the valley is more interesting because it's more likely to have venting.
I see.
Under lasers.
Yeah.
We're definitely doing some lateraling.
Hey, Roland, could we get the quad screen back on camera 3, please?
Quad screen is up.
Uh-oh, we've got smoke. Okay, you can go in video.
That's true. There's no reason we can't beeline. It's just
we came up close.
Let me know if you need me to take camera.
No, it's pulled itself in.
Bill, Chadwick, this is Patty Fryer. We're discussing what to do once we get up to the top of, or up to kind of waypoint 7. And the suggestions are two. One option is to go up, basically due north, but that would be along the ridge. It's a slight ridge up to the 250 mark, and then a long contour up to the point that is, quote, dive end, unquote, and then decide if you want to go laterally along the 250 contour toward the east. Is that okay with you, or would you rather go directly to dive end
either way,
from
I guess
our
we're going to be going
current
northeast.
position,
We do a
and then
30-meter move that
lateral
way?
I'm ready to. I'm
along
in the right position.
the 250 contour? What do you think?
We're going to do a 30-meter move?
Yeah, north. I guess 030 is serious.
I think if we went directly towards the dive end point,
that lateral around from dives in would be kind of tricky, wouldn't it,
Pilot?
That
would be as good as anything.
Be annoying,
and that would give
but
us more time,
the way the whole thing was set up, we want to get there from here, so.
Okay.
Okay.
Not many other options.
How about you?
Yeah, whatever you wish is fine.
Try to get this, I'm going to come up a little and try to get this rock off.
Bridge nav.
I think this slope is going to be a little monotonous, but I think as we get closer to the vent, things could change.
Sweep it.
You could see some different.
Yeah, we'd like to do a move, please. 30 meters, bearing 030 degrees, 0.2 knots.
After that, we can be exploring some of the outcrops, which will be a different kind of seafloor.
Okay, Bill. One option we have is we can be up in the water column and move really fast to the dive end point if you like. If you aren't particularly interested in looking at more of the volcaniclastics.
That's a little better. Yeah, there's a lot down in the screens left over tonight.
Move started.
Thank you, Nav.
So that way the ship can move faster.
Right.
So, and how far are we from where we're at to that?
How fast can the
a couple hundred meters.
ROV and Sirius move in formation?
The other thing too, though, Bill, is that if we
half a knot.
If we move up that way, we will not see any sort of pre-indicators of anything that is up there. So if you want to go up there, we can, and we can move about half a knot through the water column. But any indicators that are on the seafloor, we will miss because we will be far enough off bottom that if there's no chance that anything on the seafloor can hurt the vehicles at that speed.
Yeah, it looks like the ship's going.
Does that make sense?
Right. I don't think there's much risk there. How long will it take to get there if we stay on the bottom?
Well, that's...
Let me check.
That's dangerous.
If you know there's...
definitely longer than if we
hydrothermal
pick up
chimney or a
and
giant
move.
boulder or a volcano.
We're checking on it now, Bill.
Because we can get moving that fast, but we can't really stop.
Okay.
Tend to be a little more conservative. Also, Roland, if we're going 0.5 knots, we can't zoom on anything.
Other people who have opinions should chime in also. Just turn the video off.
Just turn the video off.
Yeah, Yeah.
You go ahead, Survey One.
The squiggly in the water?
Let me get back to you in a minute.
Oh.
Right.
On my screen now? Okay, you want to zoom there?
Those browns or lighter sort of yellow-brown spots we see look like they might be the result of burrows.
I'm not seeing it. Okay, can you go wide?
You see bubbles? Didn't look like it to me. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Nav, can you zoom my sonar to maybe 30 meters?
Right-hand corner of your screen upper is a nearly transparent. Just went to laser center.
Nav, pilot?
Go ahead, pilot.
Could you zoom my sonar into 30 meters? It's mostly dead screen right now.
Yeah, that's my screen to the left, right?
Yeah. That mouse there, yeah.
So you want 30 meters instead of 50, is that?
Yes, please. Oh, that's Sirius you have there.
Oh, sorry.
I'm on the left. $30 All right.
And whenever you're done with HiPAC Nav, if you could zoom us in back in on there too.
If I could do, sorry.
When you're done with HiPAC,
oh, yeah,
you
yeah.
can zoom us in back on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I guess we can just keep going this way till something happens. We're headed the right way. If you want to do another 30.
I'm ready.
Yeah. Or is the ship still going, huh?
Yeah, I'm still moving right now.
Yeah, it's only halfway.
Okay.
Maybe.
Well, when it's done, we could tag one on.
For folks on the telecon, we are working on figuring out what is the most sort of efficient way.
What is a half
and what
knot
the time differences are.
Meters
the navigators
About
working on
15
calculating that now.
Meters per minute.
Is
per
it
minute.
meters per minute? Video, I would need my trusty nav calculators to do that.
Yeah.
Is that me?
No, apparently you know it from your head. So I'm just doing a zigzag pattern now, surveying ahead of Sirius, looking for any interesting terrain.
Jellyfish in the lens.
Oh, he's gone. Huh?
He's actually practically touching the lens.
Yeah. Okay. So we still have a current not too strong from the north-northwest, a sweeping downslope. It's nice to have our face into it because any sediment we stir up gets blown behind and away.
Someone on the science channel has got your mic open and your nose breathing into the mic.
So, survey one nav.
Thank you.
Is it?
Survey one nav.
What'd you say?
Do we have a boat out? I see it on our. Okay.
Is Casey listening in?
Yep,
okay,
I'm
good.
here.
Yeah. Okay.
Making sure.
Theoretically, it would be about 33 minutes to go the 500 meters at half a knot. In reality, we should probably allow something like 45 minutes to an hour, including getting up,
Sure.
getting going, and finding ourselves again. If we stay on the bottom and just cruise at a comfortable 0.2 of a knot, we're looking at
You're getting out there
probably
too.
2 hours.
Okay.
I can come down and give you a couple more meters, but not too much.
Let's
All right.
let's add another ship move to that.
So we have a response from our navigator. If we were to move through the water column, it's going to take us about 30 to 45 minutes.
30 the same direction?
And if we were to move on the seafloor, it would take us about 2 hours.
I'll turn to port.
Could we do another move just like the last? 30 meters, bearing 030, 0.2 knots.
Picking up off the bottom.
Yep, pulling me.
Getting up there.
Sorry.
In the quicker option, and then
good copy, thank you.
And explore around up there. But I'm open to other opinions.
I'm with that as well. This is Verena. I think that if we find nothing there, there's always the option to come back, but it would be kind of sad to lose everybody if we did get to something.
Okay, there's your tether back. I'll come back to bottom.
Different.
Copy that. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so we will communicate that with the pilots. Thank you, guys.
I'll lateral to the side.
Go ahead, survey one. Okay. Yep. 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 If we can believe the... Okay, so we'll go something like there. Okay, did you guys get that? We're going to come off the bottom,
yeah.
And hightail it to a point down a little bit downslope from dive end.
Okay.
Which I've got here on high pack.
And then if we look around there for 20 minutes, then what are we doing?
Then I think we'll be working on around this contour. Yeah, sorry. That.
Why don't, since we also have 6 hours, why don't we head a little bit more downslope so we can at least explore for a little while what's downslope and lead up to that?
Like around here.
Survey 1, did you catch that? So, yeah, the suggestion was that we go wind up a little bit further downslope from the 250 and work our way up. Okay.
So that's all the same area, but it would give us more uphill and more, a better idea of what's going on. Yeah.
So someplace like this?
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
You got some tether to play with now.
335 at 047.
I guess we should stop that ship move then.
Yeah. Well, I can just give them a new one. It'll work fine. Are you guys ready to come off the bottom?
Do you want me to?
Well, we're not staying in. Are we staying in formation, or are we going tail to tail?
We're going half a knot. You tell me.
Tail to tail then. Yeah.
Tail to tail.
So yeah,
okay.
if you stop them, I'll spin around. And
okay.
Yeah.
Bridge nav.
Let's start coming up. Co-pilot.
Coming up.
Get to an altitude. Well, we're going to. We're going to 300.
Yes, we'd like to stop this move, please. And I'll be giving you a long move, somewhat faster. We're going to jump over to a different spot. So stand by for that.
I'll come up to. I guess let's come up to like 250.
On you.
Yeah. Or you stop at 250, and then I'll stop at 270. Actually, we can adjust our height as we drive. Yeah, you stop there.
Okay. I'm at 285.
Okay. Delta's 15. Actually, come up 5 more. I just put in auto depth.
Copy.
I'm going to take the turnout. So our delta's about 20 now, yeah.
Yes.
It's good. Tether looks nice. Driving under you.
Copy that. And you don't want me to follow you around, correct?
No. You keep your, you just coincidentally happen to be facing the direction we're going to go, so you will be good.
I might turn us to 45 if we're going to actually go where he just marked.
Yeah, sure. But wait till, once we're tail to tail, we'll actually, you're going to take auto head off and just go wherever. You know.
Oh, okay. All right, that's as far down as I can go.
All
Going
right.
off of mine.
All right, got myself on fisheye. Trying me on Titan.
Just trying. Not very good at it yet.
Well, just try. It's a good exercise. In case we need it someday. Okay, I'm still just driving forward. I'm going to decrease delta slowly.
Got a delta of 20 still right now.
Yeah.
All right, scientists on shore.
Okay, I've got visual.
You ready for a move?
Yeah, we're ready.
I have
We
put
just got
another.
I'll need to
The
set up.
Fleeter mouse should be
Bridge
up again
nav?
on video feed
Yeah.
3.
Go do it now.
Yep.
And if you take a look, this is a little bit closer to what our
Okay.
transect
Any
will
other
look like.
preparation I need to do?
How does this look to folks?
I
Bridge
guess
nav?
stow the swing arms. Yeah.
Yep, we'd like to do a move, please.
Swing,
360 meters, 360 meters, bearing 047, 0.5 knots. Good copy, thank you.
now, the upper swing arms, do they need to be pitched at all?
Any
not
other thoughts
for
on
safety
coastal line?
reasons, but
I can show you the
the lights
slope
will
too.
go in my face.
Okay.
But you can do it either order.
Okay.
And it's good when you're moving those. Just so you can take
So
mini zoos and
ideally,
look
we
at
would
them.
end up crossing
I'll give it to
some
you.
areas
Actually,
of high
Oh, we
slope
have that
as
ability
well.
now?
Yeah.
To pan
Do
and
it.
tilt?
Yeah, that was only at 6,000 meters. So just in general with the swing arms, unless it's an emergency, it's always good to take the extra 30 seconds
I
to
think
get a
that'll be
visual.
good, Casey.
For the lower swing arms, I do need to.
Yeah, I mean, right,
All right,
definitely
thank
lower.
you guys.
And then upper, you
I
might
will
as
turn
well,
it back over
like,
to
just
Patty and
see.
Shirley.
So there you go. So
Okay.
now when you stow them, you'll see them come in and blind me.
Thanks very
Stowing
much,
upper.
Casey.
Okay.
Stowing upper.
Just stand by. I'm going to just check and see how long it'll be before we're back on the bottom.
Coming in now, it's going to blind you for a second.
30 to 40. That
Yeah.
that hasn't changed. Okay. So
Okay.
I think this might be a good time for those of you who want to go get
You know,
a snack.
sometimes
to go get a
with
snack.
these
But
actuators,
before you
they
do that,
just go super slowly,
yeah,
or
it'll
they
be a
get
good time for me to
stuck
go get lunch.
'cause they're,
Yeah.
you know,
But
it's too many
I had a
devices,
look at
sometimes
that
people, they're not looking,
tube
they think they stowed it, but
that we thought
It only went.
somebody thought it was
So
a
lower swing arm
sponge,
all the way
somebody thought it
left
was an
first,
anemone.
yes.
What it
Yeah.
looks like to
Yeah.
me.
Exactly.
So,
All the way left.
Annie
Done.
pulled it up on
Stowing.
our instant replay, and to me it looks
Slowly
like the tube of a Cereanthid
Okay. Stowed.
anemone, and it looks like it's basically dead.
It looks good on
So it looked like
everything.
there was a lot of
Going
like a
forward.
bacterial mat around it. The stuff on the top, I think Verena called it gook. The gook on the top
And I
is
would
just
also
it just
follow
looked like
around with mini Zeus for this to
like
watch.
bacteria
Are you
or
doing upper now?
disintegrating
Okay. But for the lower, I would get
tissue
visual too.
from the
Copy, will
tube.
do.
That
So I
camera's
think
a
that
little
I think it
iffy,
was a
the rail cam,
Cereanthid
so.
anemone, but dead.
Nice.
Upper swing arm stroke.
Okay.
Now.
I'll move it around for you.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and go right now.
Okay.
Full right.
And for folks on shore, we are still, I believe, running our EK60s,
well, that's the thing. You
which
don't
I
know
can check on.
what's going on yet.
So as we were moving through the water column,
right anyway.
we could potentially see if we have a similar avoidance pattern like we did before.
Go left slightly.
During our midwater transect. So it's a bonus midwater transect
Bridge,
today.
I would say probably 180.
So this is a really good example of how this type of exploration works because, we got down to the bottom. It was different from what we expected. The waypoints that we had mapped out were a little bit different from what we had,
I should have had you do that
from what we had
we should regard 180 as a good bailout.
And so because we are, what you all, those of you on shore who are not scientists, what you all just witnessed was, we scientists had another meeting. We pulled up the maps again. We took a look at the maps, and then as a team, we decided on what might be a better alternative than the track that we were on. And that's the advantage. I mean, I'm sure if Bill Chadwick had the opportunity, he might want to be out here, but he doesn't. But he's able to contribute really significantly. This was a dive, I think, that he proposed, and so he had the opportunity to communicate with the rest of the team, and then we discussed the pros and cons of different tracks, discussed this with our ROV team, and came up with a new plan.
Usually you get into kind of a steady state, but we're going up so little, we definitely won't get a steady state going. So if you just come
just
up
as
at like
I was able to go back and look at that,
what
what I think is a dead Sirianthid, you'll also have anybody would be able to do that once these videos and highlights are posted on the website. Basically, anybody can go in and take a look at it, take a look at the data for any samples that are collected. You also can submit a request to study those samples as well. Casey had something to add.
So all of our data for our participating scientists is made available to them in near real time. So for most of the video clips that we're getting,
what's the distance?
Some of them from this morning have already hit shore. So if you go online to our FTP, where our participating scientists have accounts, you can log in and see the video already,
might be 200
which
meters.
is really exciting because it's very different than traditional research, where a scientist would hold the data for a year or two and try and publish and stuff, whereas we have this huge community and large group of scientists that are all working together to sort of collaboratively develop those publications and that
41,
data processing.
Yeah, and what's nice about that, Casey, is that it brings together kind of groups of scientists or teams of scientists who normally would not have, who may not have had the opportunity to work together on a publication. So I don't know of any instance where, for example, Patty and I would have worked together on a publication, but now we have an opportunity with a number of scientists participating where we could actually say, oh, wait, this is an interesting hypothesis that we've developed based on these data, and wouldn't it be cool if we worked together to test that hypothesis?
We like to say on the Okeanos Explorer that we are not hypothesis testing, but are hypothesis generating. So we are out here to sort of get the initial questions that need to be asked and collect sort of a baseline so that you can have further exploration and research where you are testing those hypotheses.
Okay, Delta's 10.
And every year I teach a group of third graders the scientific method. I'm like a little guest lecturer who goes in for one day and teaches these third graders what the scientific method is all about. And the very first part is observation. So you observe what's going on, and from that you formulate your scientific questions and your hypotheses. So that's what we're doing. So this is still part of the scientific method.
I've only got about another 5 meters to go.
And for those of you that are at home and are citizen scientists or are just interested but aren't quite involved at the scientific level yet, all of these data that we collect are made publicly available through a partnership with the National Center for Environmental Information. We've had a collaboration with them for several years now, and they really are at the sort of forefront and cutting edge of data management. So they've set it up so that as anyone that's interested in the public, within about 60 to 90 days after we are back to port, all of